Morning, coming to you at 0 to 800 hours, 51 minutes, Friday, May 10th, 2019. This is an open discussion. I haven't done an open discussion. And and after this one, I'm going to go over some old theology, some spirituality that I wrote down and haven't examined and studied and researched and seeked out in a while, per se. I have been doing it. I just haven't been using those. But I have, because I learned when I did the focus. You have a focus. You have a purpose, mission, and position. I wrote that down. Remember I was saying I wrote that down 7 to 8. I want to say 8 years ago now because it was 7 years. 8 years ago, literally. And now I'm using it. I started using it last year. So I thought that was very funny that I wrote that down and I utilized it. See how a lot of things has to manifest? I want to talk about some things that we say or do. One of the things I just thought about, and it left my head now, about, oh yes, how we send our children to a better school per se, based on who's now, are we sending our children to a better school based on academics, or are we sending our children to schools based on now race? Because every time you watch a TV show, imagery, who do we show to market a product? It's not us, our own race of people. We always say, let's get diversified. Diversity in the word itself, I don't know. That's how I know a lot of men don't pay attention because a woman say it. And I know a lot of women don't pay attention because of her emotions. Because even in the men, I'm very logical. I think about things. That's why I would say that's how we know we haven't had, this is going to be something that we got to think about. We have no inventors, and we haven't had, I don't care what nobody done. Nobody invented anything. Forget not having resources and assets. We haven't talked about, that's going to be, well, I can talk about it now. It's open discussion. And I'm going to make a live about it, or a recording, I mean. We haven't had any inventors. Because as an inventor, when I think about things, I know I'm not the only person on this earth that thought about it. But at the same time, I'm thinking about it, I was like, what is the pros, the things that can move us forward, the good, the positive, and the con, the trick, and the thing that can be negative about it? So, example, I'm going to use the highest order of things that was created. A gun, a weapon, a gun. Original gun, it was for shooting animals. But I'm quite sure the inventor, you're an inventor. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody. You know that can be rerouted and used a whole different way. Because all it takes is a person to put their finger on the trigger and point it at another object or a person. So you kind of knew that was going to happen. I don't care what society. You could have been living in a society where it was such as the movie Pleasantville, when you shot all the shots and they all went in. It was in black and white. It wasn't no racism. It wasn't no hatred. Nobody. But that means everybody was a bunch of robots. You can have a bunch of robots, and you're going to have a program that can kind of mess up. So you can't tell me that nobody didn't think about that. So with that, and I bring up why is it that we have to segregate ourselves from each other, but not from other people that will hurt you in a heartbeat? Look at the lady that had the slumber party. 3 white men was there and 7 white women. She was mixed, but she was biracial. And look at her, she's dead. None of the white people dead. None of the full white people. What could she possibly say to do to cause 3 men and 7 white women to kill her? And now they have no clue, and they did the autopsy. Now, even with the Aretha Franklin autopsy, saying that somebody tampered with her, we know it was drugs. Somebody hurt her, and different things. And why is it every time we see this is why we say is Illuminati? Maybe somebody have some actual inside sources, but haven't revealed it because they was murdered. Why is it when people make it, somebody got to get killed, somebody gets shot? You ever notice that about African descended people in America? When one of us make it, look at Serena Williams, Jennifer Hudson, Nicki Minaj, Cardi. Somebody's doing some crazy things, And Isaiah Thomas, the basketball player, his sister died. Nikki, her brother, she's protecting the pedophile. Why you got to go travel? Why you don't see these people for 3, 4, 5, 6 months at a time, and we don't know their whereabouts, even their families? Then they come back and we call them some android or MK. Why do we have to do so much of things just to say we made it? Are we truly making it? Because as I keep saying, I'm going to leave off with this. Money is not changing our plight. Just because your chains are gold. My man said that in the song. It's called Greatness 2.0. Just because your change is gold, that don't mean you exempt from everything that goes around you. Just because you're doing better. I see our women, our race of women saying, I got money and black men don't create. And, well, what do you expect in an economy that design even you tearing me down? Even our race of women. Even our men is tearing other men down. But then we got logical men. We're not creating babies with people that want children, that's able to people there's always that one person that wants a child and the other person that do. But then we forget how selfish we are. Very, very greedy and selfish. A girl kept saying this at the job. I said true, but there's a lot of us that's not. I'm not selfish enough. I'm selfish enough to know that I admire lots of women. What if I took 6 women on a date? No woman gonna think about this. They gonna say, why are you taking 6 women on a date? Because I'm trying to get to know them. Not the woman I look at. What was this woman? Now, I'm not saying you look at somebody past. That's the determining factor. Or what somebody actually, that's not my determining factors of who. So the first day I meet her, I should be courting her. So imagine if I went on 6 dates. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's $120 I just spent on women that might not even, or 110, 120, 130, that might not even want to be with me. I have no incentive. I have no benefit of continuing my life with her. So you want me to just waste my money. But then you would say, well, a real man, well, I say solid equals real to me is solid. And look at that. Look how our women view men. Look how we view women. Look how our children, though, going back to the beginning, we sending our children to a school that's full of different cultures, or we're going to say race, because it's not really the culture, because you learn the culture once you get to know them. And we saying that's a better life. But then we're going to wonder why our children hate each other. What I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path, it's your journey, it's your choice. Choose wisely. If that's the plight of us, and that's what we're going to accept, I'm going to have to accept that a lot of African descendant men, we're not going to have children. The good ones. There's 47% of men not taking care of their children. There's 50% of men that don't have children. But the 47% have babies with the same women. So I know a man that has 13. My cousin have 11. I know a man that has 6. So he has 6 with 6 different women. I know a woman that has 5 children with 5 different men. But those 5 different men, each man have 2 or 3 children with 2 other women. The same people are making babies together. And see, that's why women defend certain women. A woman that made a baby with a man with 5 children already, how do we defend that or that situation if she's supposed to be a talent enough, but she has no discipline within her loins, her uterus, to say, no, he has no discipline. He think vagina is a quest that he need to conquer. Selah.